Hi guys, Piotr here, this LiteFinance Global YouTube channel. If you are looking for a little bit chill, Oceano Atlantico, there you go. But if you are looking for a little bit more adrenaline, then short-term euro-dollar chart is what you have to look at, what you are looking for. Actually. So without the further delay, let's jump straight and check the euro dollar, which is a topic of the day for us today. All right, so that's the euro dollar, and actually, to be honest with you, that's the 1 hour chart, just to show you the interest rates decision, 50 basis point. Some participants were looking for maybe even higher, strong move to the upside after the Fed rate decision, but then strong move to the downside, more stops have been taken out to the upside, to the downside, and today we are going to try to go a little bit higher. That's what I've been always talking, and I'm going to repeat each and every time we are going to discuss the big events, especially in US, ahead of the close, just before the US market close. The real reaction is within the next 24-48 hours, and no different here. But how the things looks like from the bigger perspective? All right, so if you do remember, we were discussing the range break to the downside range, right? Then the break to the downside on the monthly chart, and previous month we moved even lower, right, within that range. So taking into the consideration few things, there is a possibility that we might try to do similar in size move to the downside, and we are very close. We are halfway before that target. What we are talking about? We are talking about the levels close to 102.20. All right. There is a level a little bit higher, 103.55, and why this particular level on the monthly chart? Well, because of this unfinished swing low over here. We never retest this low really. So taking also this one into the consideration, we have like 100-150 strong demand zone ahead of the parity, right? So that's the possible demand zone. And if you are going to have a look a little bit wider, right, it also, this one around 102, right, the one which is similar in size, it could be also related to those upper shadows we have here and here, and this breakdown here, right? So let's place the full red line because it's a monthly chart. Let's place this. As you can see, it's almost to the point, right? So it's not coincidence. Most probably we are going to hit that stops around 103.50, and we might retest 102.20, 102. So that's the name of the game. Of course, the supply, in that case, the supply for now, in my opinion, is this breakdown over here. So what we've seen we've seen 2 months ago, and we are talking about 108.05. So that's the supply based on the monthly chart. All right, so let's switch lower. Let's have a look what we have on the weekly chart. And there you go. We were trying for some quiet time over here. We were trying to consolidate within the old consolidation, right? With this move to the downside, as of now, well, the bulls are under strong pressure. The supply, first supply, is around the high of the previous week, right? And the demand is within 103.55, 102.20. We discussed a second ago based on the monthly chart. If we are going finish like this, okay, most probably, there is a huge chance we are going to retest or test that low within a week or two. As long as we are below this particular level, the high we've seen a week ago, 108, which corresponds with what we discussed on the monthly chart as well. All right, so this is the supply zone, this is a demand zone. We are in the middle of the nowhere based on the weekly chart, but of course, taking into the consideration what we have seen lately, the bears dictate what is going on here. So let's switch lower, let's switch to the daily chart. And what we have here, well, we can discuss many things, all right? What I suggest you doing your homework is to check the waves, how we were moving lower, all right? Because it's quite interesting, okay? Because short term, the low might be in, and we might see a little bit of the rally. Now, again, the size of the rally, because I think it's going to, the supply is around 108, all right? But one more time, just to show you the things, what you have to look for, right, is the sizes of the move to the downside, right? They were almost equal, okay? So what we have to look for right now is the sizes of the bounces, right? This one, that one was the biggest, most probably over here, and it was equal. So if that's the low for the week, right, how high can we go? Boom, as you can see, we might retest this supply zone before we are going to move lower down towards 103.50, 102.20, and even parity when it comes to the euro dollar. But as I mentioned, if you need a little bit more adrenaline, then you have to look for the short-term euro dollar chart. So let's switch lower here. That's the 4-hour chart. Market is trying to rally, all right. But of course, on this 4-hour charts, the most important thing are going to be if we are going to get the close above that FOMC candle, right? As of now, looks like it could be the case. Then the retest of the swing high rally towards 106.25 could be in place. Then we might look for some more liquidity, and we might see this particular levels over here, 106.60 and 107.40 ahead of this big supply base on the higher time frame. What would be my approach? Well, as long as we are above today's low, any kind of the pullback into that level could be the buying opportunity. Because it's end of the week, I would wait for some bigger spikes before any kind of the selling, because as I've shown you, right, the sizes of the correction, we really might hit these higher levels before we are going to see the targets we were discussed. So in that case, if you really need for a day trading, you might try to check this size, right? So looking for a liquidity above 106, and if there is any kind of the rejection for a few pips, you might want to see the retest of the high of this candle, like 105.80, right? So it's 30-40 pips trade. But as I see the things, there is a possibility. I'm not a big bull when it comes to the euro dollar. I see the parity as a possibility. Of course, the dollar is well overbought, but I haven't seen the signs of the end of the move of the dollar yet, so be careful. But of course, with this particular currency pair, you want to see some kind of the rally if you want to join the party to the downside. All right. So with that being said, guys, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. With that being said, I wish you great next trading day. Of course, as usual, do your own homework, do your own research, and see you around. Take care and goodbye.